Okay, guys, welcome. Currently, the series is at 3-1 in favor of Monster. Kind of weird seeing a ZVZ on this map. I'm used to just PVZ.
Yeah.
All the time. Who defends the Immortal on
Who
it?
picks
Who doesn't?
Ohana for a ZVZ?
Oh my gosh, these guys.
Are you kidding me
yeah.
with Metropolis in the map pool?
Actually, unfortunately for
Yeah.
Karont3, they actually didn't have a Processor on here, so that explains it, actually.
They wish.
I figured it
They
out.
did.
I figured it out. Just one guy that practices that build just for Ohana, period. They keep them until that. But nonetheless, here they are in the bottom right corner, guys. It's going to be Karont3's very own Giant. Very far. Top left corner as well in Ohana. It's going to be MVP's very own Monster. Monster taking that game, last game, pretty decisively, actually.
Yeah.
I was very, very frightened for him. I thought he took a lot of damage. I thought the gimmicky play from Cross was really strong. I was actually kind of like, wow, this is actually a really cool play.
He did a lot of damage. He
yeah.
really did. The problem was that he didn't force any units, really. We, like, barely saw there. At the end, we saw Zerglings, and they just surrounded a ton of Hellions.
Yeah.
But other than that, he just continued to drone and drone and drone and drone and drone. And when you kill drones and you invest a ton of tech into doing it, and you lose the units that killed the drones, so he lost one of the Banshees, he lost four or 5 or 6 Hellions.
He lost a total of 8, I believe. He actually had 4 in the one medevac, and then 4 that with the third that got surrounded really easily.
Yeah.
So 8 Hellions, a medevac, 2 Banshees, cloak tech, as well as moving up in terms of infrastructure. You're right. That's a lot of investment.
Combat shields is completely neglected.
Yeah.
You know, he did a lot of damage, definitely, but Monster responded to it perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't overreact in terms of producing lings and queens and roaches and all these things that actually make it that you don't have enough minerals to keep doing what you want. And the whole time he kept going, he just kept pulling more and more gas. So when that Spire finally completed, he was like, mwah, 13 Mutalisks.
Mwah. I said mwah, I want to make like a bowl of spaghetti. I'm like, mwah, here you are, you're welcome. Enjoy your spaghetti. That's my half Italian accent. Anywho.
I say, give me some hot sauce.
Use the hot sauce, man. It's ridiculous. Anywho.
It's actually really bad with Parmesan.
I believe it, in all honesty. Hot sauce, I don't know. It's too hot for my tongue. I don't drink that much water, so I can't go with the hot sauce. Anywho, we do have the hatcheries following up.
My favorite game.
What?
I don't know. You kept saying anywho, so I figured it's something.
I keep saying anywho and something else. I have two.
You gotta throw in
lines.
the any house.
I need to get these.
Variety is the spice of life, Tim.
It's true.
It's so appropriate because we were just talking about spicy things.
You're working it, man. You got it down today. Bringing all the food talk in.
Because I had so much hot sauce with lunch.
American dips.
American dip.
Best sandwich in the world.
If you ever come to San Francisco, give us a call. We'll take you out for American dip.
Yeah, it's
delicious.
8 minutes from our office. So you can come in for the tour of the office, by the way. Love our office. Our 3rd floor is decorated in gaming stuff.
Just tweet at IPL Robin.
Yep.
Let him know.
I'll come pick you up. I just got my badge the other day to say I'm officially an IPL employee. It feels cool. Got my beard on it, but I don't have my beard anymore.
You look so young without the beard, man.
I know, man. Young and speed is finishing up for both players. We actually had really strong macro-oriented plays from both players. They went for quick hatcheries, of course, and there were other pools as well. Nothing really fishy here.
Nope.
It looks like in just ZVZ in general, we're having a lot of macro play into falling into a quick bailiness at your natural spine crawler queen, and then from there you're really well defended. So people have quit attacking each other because everyone's learned how to defend the early game so heavily, and we actually have a lot of quicker layers that are happening overall. For the most part, like if you look at gases, there are always about 3 drones there. They never pull them off anymore. Remember back in the day we'd see 3 drones and we'd see a couple get pulled off, we'd be like, okay, so he's going for an all-in, but now it's not that anymore. It's actually, I'm going into a really quick tech out because I know I can defend anything that comes my way.
Alright, so you used to have to make additional queens or a spine crawler in order to hold off these builds, right?
Yeah.
So you would take off gas in order to do that. Well, people found out you can actually go for a 28 to 30 supply baneling nest, skip the spine crawler, and in most, it happened the other day, using this build, what you do if you have like a speedling baneling all incoming, you pick up your drones, you take them into your main base, this queen comes down, you get a double queen wall off, and you'll actually finish banelings just in time to be able to come down the ramp and protect your hatchery from falling and hold off almost any all-in that your opponent can throw at you. So we're seeing a lot of players open up with these early game builds that, you know, just revolve around the 28 to 30 baneling nest. Now, we do have Monster going to be laying on some pressure here, and Giant's going to need to have a very stable defense in order to hold this off.
Well, this is actually a bit different than what we were talking about here. It's going very heavily on the bailing speed here. It's getting focused down pretty nicely here, though, from Giant.
Ooh,
oh, his last 2 queens didn't snap the last bailing, and that really was painful.
Yep.
And a small mistake like that can, of course, lose you the game. Now, I think he's okay overall. I mean, he sniped the 3 banelings, which could have done way more damage. There was 1 left. He's got already some lanes on the way. In fact, he's already feeling pretty confident as well. He's got 3 drones on the way as well. Spine Claw finishing up in the natural. But the thing is, the follow-up from Monster here. He's gone straight into a Roach Warren. Now, what the plan is for the Roach Warren, I'm not quite sure
this is
yet.
so smart.
How much gas does he have?
Well, he's just going for very stable defense because he's going to be able to make a couple of Banelings to defend against Giant's counterattack here. And with these Banelings on the field afterwards, Roach Bane is the most stable of all defenses that you can possibly have in ZVZ. Banelings are done. Ling aggression thwarted. Now Monster can play as greedy as he wants if he so desires, but we actually see he's continuing to queue Roaches here, and it looks like he's just going to go for a big, huge counterattack, which makes a lot of sense. If he clicked on this gas, Tim, he knows that Giant is sitting on way too much.
So this is a bit of the layered here. We were talking about like all-ins, just really huge, straight-up all-ins aren't as strong anymore, but here's what the counter is to it now. Now suddenly we have layered aggression that's happening. We have the Ling of Baneling first that might be popping up, followed up into a Roach play or something, and then potentially followed up into a strong Ling follow-up to kill him off. It's a longer of an all-in, if you will. It takes more time, there's more steps to it, but this is kind of what we're seeing now because people are going up with strong tech routes.
Oh, what's he
just
doing?
Hit little small timings over and over here. But yeah, he's actually following up into 22 Lings. He wants to make a crud load of Banelings. Perhaps he wanted to show those few Roaches here.
I mean, Giant saw the Roaches, and he didn't drop Spine Crawlers. He didn't drop Spine Crawlers. I think he is looking to make a ton of Roaches. He's not going to have enough. I mean, there's way too many Roaches just for one Spine Crawler to be able to hold off. Baneling's going to crash in, do a fair amount of damage to the Roaches, but with the Ling reinforcements, this is going to be incredibly potent.
Well, here we go. He's tipping up. He does have, of course, a couple of Banelings. They do actually land on about 7 Zerglings there, which are nice. Now it's just Zergling here with Spine Crawler. This is actually focusing down the Spine Crawler. He needs to get his Ling here in the front because these Roaches are important. He doesn't want to make any more Roaches here. He just wants to use those gas for just pure Banelings. So you do your best to keep these in the back line. And these Lings getting straight into the mains. These Roaches are actually a nice spot here overall.
Oh my god.
Baneling hit does a lot of damage here. And with these 3 Banelings just kind of popping in and out, this layer looks like it's in trouble.
Yeah.
And if he loses that layer too, he's essentially lost out on his tech. I don't think he's followed up into a different tech route here in the main. Yeah, Giant just dies, unfortunately.
All right, that's it.
Monster followed up with the layered aggression that I was talking about halfway through that game, unfortunately. Like we mentioned, just huge all-ins just aren't working anymore, but layered aggression like that, of course, if you hit little small timings here and there, it's going to wear down your opponent, and they could overreact. Maybe pop out too many units, and then they don't have the drones to fall up into their tech, and Monster just felt way more confident about Giant overall and just straight up killed him.
I mean, that's like a rehearsed dismantling, I guess you could say, because Monster, he gets in there, he does the damage, and then you get the the counterattack's coming, so you make a couple of Banelings to thwart the counterattack. With those Banelings up there, now suddenly, they can run one Ling up at a time as long as you're diligent with your defense and you have that Spine Crawler. It's going to be tough to be able, and he didn't actually see the Roaches at all. Giant then decided to macro a ton behind it, and I mean, I want to say Monster saw that gas. It makes it a really easy read. If you see your opponent's pulling 400 gas, which he was before he dropped the layer and made those Banelings, I mean, you know that they don't have minerals. They're not going to be able to hold.
Just like that, Monster takes out Giant right away, and it looks like we'll be going to the next game, and the only player left, I believe, is Lucifron. Can Lucifron pull a play like his brother? Come back and win a few games and maybe take the whole entire series? We'll have to see. It's 4 games this time. 4 games in a row against 4 different players. It's kind of a hard feat to pull off.
Especially MVP.
Yeah.
To be real.
If anyone can do it, though, it might be Lucifron. Let's run to a commercial, and then we'll find out right afterwards. We'll be right back with IPTL.